Hi, everyone. It's really good to be here. Actually, it's a good timing to talk about EV charging roaming because we started several years ago. We're based in Paris, and we have today a pan-European coverage. But actually, we're putting a lot of energy and focus on the CE market, which is why I'm here today. And we see great potential in this market. And we speak to a lot of people saying that I want to find opportunities in this sector, and a lot of them are becoming or have become already charge point operators. But actually, I really want to go deeper into the business of this industry to explain to you that actually you have more than one business opportunity in this industry because there are more than one type of players in this market. So I've got only 10 minutes, so let me get on with it. Let me skip the marketing stuff. But you can have a quick through our website later on if this works. OK. Roaming actually is quite simple in the EV charging sector. OK, I've got everything on my slide. So you've got, let me take an analogy. You've got similar roaming platforms in other sectors already, notably in the telecom sector and also in the banking sector. So today, most of the people that we speak to who want to invest in this industry, they say, OK, I want to install chargers, I want to become a charge point operator. But actually, in this market, you can see you have two types of major players in the market. One of them is the charge point operator on the left-hand side. They are the people who manage the infrastructure of in this industry. So if you want to install a charger, you're not necessarily the owner of the charging points, but you can manage it and connect everything online via cloud platform so that you can activate and stop the charging session, etc., which is great. However, people tend to forget that you actually have someone sitting in the middle, which is e-mobility service providers as well. And this is a proper business which you could look at. They are the people who deal with the membership with the people who want to charge their car via a membership. They provide access to the end users to the charging stations. So they are very important because without them, the charging experience will not get better because the charge point operators is only focused on the infrastructure side. Let me take one analogy for you. So the charge point operators is a little bit like airline companies. So they manage the flights, they manage the tickets, they sell the tickets themselves to everybody, to every passenger. However, the e-mobility service providers is a bit like travel agencies. They work in a B2B relationship with the airline companies. They sell the tickets of the airline companies, but they do not operate the flights themselves, and they certainly do not own any airplanes. However, if it's structured in this way, you could see that the e-mobility service providers would always push for a better customer experience to the end users. And the end users would be able to have wider access to the chargers based across Europe. So what we do is that we provide a platform between the two type of players in the market. We provide a platform which is a technical connection between the two players, and also we provide a marketplace where the charge point operator could sign roaming agreement with the e-mobility service providers. So usually there are two questions. One of them is saying, OK, why do we need you to do that? Because I can simply, as a charge point operator, I can simply get in touch with the e-mobility service provider, then I sign a roaming agreement, and that's it. However, the problem is, at least in the European market, we have already seen too many charge point operators, and there are a lot more who are coming to the market as well. And on the e-mobility service provider side, there are a bit less, but still, there are a very important number of e-mobility service providers. So if each one wants to establish a connection with the other one, then you could be faced with 500 connections that you need to manage and maintain on a daily basis, which is physically and financially a burden for your company. So we do that for you, and everybody is connected to us, and we connect everybody on the other side. So that's our value in it. Then, we usually say that we are sort of the middleman that will make sure that the CPO can roam with the e-mobility service providers. So what does mean if a charge point operator go through Gireve and roam with the e-mobility service provider? That means your charging points would be open to the e-mobility service providers on our platform, and they have the end users. We estimated the number of the end users managed by them are roughly 400,000 across Europe. So that's for the benefit of the charge point operators. On the other hand, if the e-mobility service providers is connected to us, then you could send your users not only to the charge point, to the charging stations based in one area, in one city, but from a European perspective. And in terms of numbers, you could tell your end users that you could access potentially 62,000 charging points connected to Gireve that are open to roaming. And this number changes on a daily basis. By the time that I sent over the presentation several weeks ago, 2 months ago, that was actually 50,000. So you could see the progression that we are making every day. And we expect to grow this number on another level before the end of this year. So, so that's 2 minutes. So that's the value of a direct roaming platform. And we really want to push for this business model. Why? Because that would allow the big players and the small players to come to this new market, to this industry, to find your own opportunity. Either you want to be a charge point operator or e-mobility service provider is possible. And that to avoid the, we expect the market to have some kind of a consolidation maybe in several years. But with our current model, we don't think it's going to happen right away. So there are still a lot of opportunities for you to explore, and especially in the CE market, we have already seen some very well-established charge point operators. I don't know whether you have seen the presentation of a Greenway yesterday. So they are quite a well-established charge point operator. But we haven't seen a well-established EMSP yet. There are a lot of EMSP active in this part of the market. However, they mainly come from the car manufacturers, like the auto manufacturers. They push for the sales of their cars, so obviously they push for the sales of the membership and the cars, etc. However, we think that there is still opportunity for a lot of people to play in the e-mobility service provider role, and that eventually will push for a much more fragmented market, at least for the years to come, which means that that will push for a better charging experience in the market. So. So that's really a quick snapshot of Gireve and what we do. Today, as mentioned, we've connected to more than 260 charge point operators and roughly 60 EMSPs on our platform. So obviously, we're very happy to work with potential partners in the CE region, which is our focus. So 3 seconds, perfect on timing. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you.